Hey guys, this is your girl Victoria back to you with another review of Married at First Sight Season 13, Episode 12, called Is There Someone Else? This episode was draining for me. Like, the back and forth between these men and their females is, especially Johnny's ass. That he's the one who got me so just like, what am I watching? Saw Victoria. Let's get through this. As I usually say, there's a lot to unpack, but in this case, Johnny, there's a lot to unpack with you, homeboy. We gonna start off. Let's just start this thing, okay? So Brett's saying things aren't progressing between her marriage between her and Ryan has been tough. Girl, we know. This is episode 12. Girl, we know. Zach and Michaela, they chilling or whatever. Zach saying he likes Michaela's look being all natural and all natural. Got the weave out and all that. Okay, cool. We get to Bao. She's feeling deflated. But she's gonna try to make the best of the situation and woo her husband. And I'm just like, is he wooing you though? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Mirla and Gil. Those were just like the little previews or little snippets that they show. But for like scene wise, Mirla and Gil, they're in the kitchen. I feel like all these scenes that we be seeing of these couples be in the kitchen for the most part. Y'all don't be in the living room? Okay. Except for, okay. Gil's talking about his lease about to be up, but he doesn't know if he's going to renew it. So I don't know if Miller was joking or being serious, but she was like, no, you need to renew it. And I guess they start talking about getting a place. Obviously, they can't be affording no house right at the moment. So they're discussing renting an apartment together. I think Gil says what he likes. But Mirla was just like, listen, I'm going to need something new. And then Gil's like, of course you do. Of course you're going to need something new. She even says, oh, I need a new phone. And Gil's like, what's wrong with the phone you got right now? I don't know if Gil is really a person who is frugal. Like people are trying to say he's frugal. But I don't know if it's the fact that he is frugal and Mirla is not frugal. Or if it's the fact that because Mirla is so high maintenance and bougie, so to speak, that he's forcibly making himself seem or become frugal. Because in the Unfiltered episodes ago, he was saying, oh, he has Prada and all that stuff, and he has like the name brand shoes, and even Jamie made a mention that he has name brand shoes on. But it's like, I don't know. I feel not that it's an act, but I just feel like he's just trying to be the opposite of what Mirla is to prove a point that she's so high maintenance. Because to me, Gil, you coming off like, listen, I'm bougie. Since she bougie, I'm just gonna be the opposite of bougie. Like I feel like you're doing that on purpose when you're really not, because you be buying name brand stuff talking about you don't see the purpose. Listen, really, Gil, if you had to choose between, okay, if two apartments were $2,000, I know I'm going on a tangent here. Two apartments are $2,000. One is just remodeled and just like looks brand spanking new, and the other one, like people be saying in other reviews that I watch, got the white refrigerator and stuff, and one got the like stainless steel appliances. You gonna go for the one with the white refrigerator, Gil? Just because it looks less bougie than what Mira likes, or is it because you really like white refrigerators? Like I don't understand. Listen, as long as the price is right, why not go for something that's better looking and newer and stuff? For me, I like stainless steel appliances. So I'm gonna go with the renovated apartment for $2,000 as opposed to another basic apartment for $2,000. You gonna get the bang for your buck, so to speak. Gil, I just feel like he be acting less than he really is, just to prove a point of how bougie Mirla is, when in reality just making you look like a cheap bastard, as my dad says. But I guess they're gonna try to figure that out. Gil's just like, he's concerned because of the fact that she always wants something new, that she's gonna be tired of him when he's no longer like the new thing for her. which is understandable. But you sticking beside her. You knew this since day one, Gil. You seen what happened at the when you guys went to brunch at the restaurant with the Chanel number 6 drink. So you gonna have to decide what you want to do, Gil. Because I can't tell you. None of America could tell you because you already decided to stick beside her longer than a lot of us would have. And I know people be talking about Miller got bad edits, but Miller is Miller, and I still don't like her. So we move on to Rachel and Jose. They're in the kitchen, of course, doing dishes and they're cooking. Jose's talking about he's going to try to do everything to make things work, and we get to Rachel. She's so happy that she could voice her thoughts and that he's listening. I'm just like, I don't really think he's listening. I think he's just trying to be like, okay, so you guys could just get back to the up and not the down and down. But they're cooking. Well, Rachel's cooking, but she's too lazy and impatient to cook on a regular basis. She'd rather just microwave things and that just be that. And I'm like, now listen, cooking's not for everybody. Not everybody likes to cook. I can understand. I'm not saying you gotta cook, Rachel, but it's too lazy. I don't know. Listen, I don't know how she maybe she did Herbalife to lose the 35 pounds that she was talking about for the first 5 episodes of this season. But I mean, listen, the girl don't like to cook. Not everybody likes to cook. I love to cook because I love food. But if she don't like to cook, it is what it is. At least she made dinner for her husband. It looked good to me. But anyway, they sit down to eat the dinner. Jose likes it. And then they start talking about doing stuff for the first time and whatever. She said she's still bringing up this trip to Europe. She wants to try that, even though she already been to Europe, but she hasn't been with her husband. So that'll be a first for them, even though it's not really for. Okay. So Jose was like, let's do a road trip in Texas. Let's just drive around Texas and, visit different sites in Texas. Texas is big. There's a lot of things to see in Texas. So let's just do. And Rachel just looked at him like, we have two different ideas of traveling. We both like to travel, but it's two different types of traveling. And I'm like, no, it's just Jose. He has the money to travel the way you want to travel, Rachel, but he just doesn't want to, waste that money. He thinks it's a waste. He sees it as a waste. I don't see it as a waste. However, I'm not gonna be doing trips every damn year to damn Europe. When's the last time you went to Europe, Rachel? Did you go last year or something that she was talking about? Because I'm not gonna bring up the credit card, even though I just did. But I'm just saying, why can't we compromise? Okay, if Jose wants to do the road trip in Texas, you guys can plan to do like a week or two road trip. I don't know how y'all PTOs are set up, but do a week or two road trip in Texas, and then maybe for the 1 year anniversary or like the 5 year anniversary, go to Europe. Rachel, I know you like to travel, but you're married now with the guy who doesn't really want to be spending money like that all day, every month to go on a trip. So we're going to have to compromise, because I just feel like they're both like, no, I want to do this and that's that. And they're not even willing to hear what the other person has to say. It's kind of like, okay, or maybe we could do this, what I want to do. No, it's about compromise, guys. Like, I don't understand why people in the Married at First Sight cast just seems like they don't understand the word compromise or the word communication, Ryan, in the aspect of marriage. This is stupid. So we get to Johnny and Bao. I feel like it's gonna be a long review. We get to Johnny and Bao. They're making dinner, and they sit down for the dinner after they make the food look good. I don't know. They be cooking good looking food. Well, I'll give them that. Bao, Johnny, whoever, I don't know, whoever comes up with these meals, y'all making some good looking food. So, of course, Johnny and Bao, they're going to talk about what's going on in the relationship. That's all their dinner time be. You making food unenjoyable for me if we're going to be talking serious every time we sit down for a damn meal now. But they're talking about how they feel in the relationship. Johnny asks Bao. She feels like she's 100% in a relationship. Johnny's feeling 50-50 about Bao. But she's trying to stick through it. Before they even sit down for the dinner, though, Bao mentions having a sex drawer. She says she has a special drawer, sex drawer. So she got a sex drawer, and Johnny seemed like he was open to exploring her sex drawer. And I'm like, okay, On a normal basis, if this was in the beginning of the season, I'd be like, okay, Johnny, look at you, all right. But the way Johnny be acting these past couple episodes, whatever. So they played true. I missed so much before they sat down, but they play truth or sip, and they asked each other about the decision day and what their answer would be. Johnny takes a sip. He's like, if our decision day was tomorrow, what would your answer be? She said she would say yes. And I guess they're on good terms for this second. And she's saying she recognizes every effort Johnny makes. I'm just like, do you really? Okay. And then before we get to when they sit down, we pan over to Michaela and Zach, and they're doing extreme soccer. And I guess they make a bet that whoever loses has to do a dance. So Michaela loses, and she has to do the Dougie. Of course, she can't do the Dougie because she's confined. But Zach is like, "Oh, that's the worst Dougie ever. Nigga, she confined. She can't even move in there. Like, are you serious right now?" But I guess they joking and stuff. But I'm just, I would be looking at Zach like, nigga, seriously, for real. Like, I can't even do nothing. All you can see me moving in my damn legs in this bubble. So they sit down and talk about what their happiest moments in the marriage is. Michaela said the happiest moment was when Zach came back from Florida with flowers for her. Zach was saying when he was dancing with his boys in front of Michaela at the wedding, at the reception, and she cried. And Zach is wondering how they can recreate that. And they joke about buying each other's houses because when he says, I wonder how we can recreate this, Michaela's like, you could buy me a house. He's like, no. And then Zach was like, why don't you buy me a house? Michaela's like, no. And I'm just like, this is y'all form of joking? I don't know. Maybe I'm sensitive. Not maybe. I am sensitive. But I would just be looking like, oh, so you're not going to buy me? I'm your wife? But, can we say, like, maybe, one day we could work up to that or something? I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to be lighthearted. I'm just going to move on back to Johnny and Bao because that's who this episode really about, to be honest. So they sit down for the dinner and they talk about the effort they're putting in the relationship, like I was just saying. And Johnny feels like Bao's not even trying. And here goes Bao saying, she's consistently doing things in a relationship and, trying her hardest. Johnny's like, Bao isn't consistent at all. Like, you're not even consistent at all. And I'm just like, Johnny, why are you always getting so angry and defensive when y'all sit down for dinner? You the one who be bringing up these conversations, but yeah, you be getting mad when Bao's giving you the same answer that, you already know what Bao's going to say. You keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, Johnny, but at this point, Bao's going to say the same thing because she feels how she feels and you feel how you feel, but I'm trying to understand how you feel, Johnny, to be honest. And Johnny's whole thing is he says he wants Bao to initiate activities with him. And it seems like Bao doesn't, not that she doesn't understand, but it just seems like she's not willing to because she's already doing so much. She's just like, but I'm already doing all these things. So Johnny gets frustrated. He gets upset. He gets up and he walks away. We see Bao talking to the camera by herself in the confessional, so to speak. And then while she's saying something in the camera, I can't even pay attention to what she was saying because Johnny, when he went into the room, you hear him screaming like, ah! And like she's just looking like, well, I'm just looking like, nigga, are you serious right now? And he gets out of the room. He goes, stands against the wall, or whatever. Bao comes up to him and she's holding onto his arm. And he's just like, they're not compatible and he doesn't, understand why they're so different. And then Bao's just like, she's just going to be here for him. She's going to stick beside him and they could work through these things out, And Johnny he just walks out. He done dipped. And Bao's talking to the camera once again. And she's saying like she's a stronger person and she doesn't mind being the stronger person in the relationship. But at the same time, it's unfair to her because she's the, more mature person, the adult in the relationship, even though Johnny be saying she be acting too giddy and like a kid sometimes. But at this moment, it's like, nigga, what is wrong with you? Like, no, for real, like, not even joking. What is wrong with you, Johnny? Why are you acting like this? You acting like a crazy man right now. You giving Michaela a run for her money. What is wrong with you? Excuse me. We get to Zach and Ryan. Here's another one. Here's another one. I'm just not understanding what the where the disconnect is. Not that I don't understand, because Ryan just probably don't like her relationship wise. But Zach and Ryan, they go work out, and Brett meets up with her friend to hang out. So Brett's saying Ryan done checked out of their marriage, and she can see the change of Ryan because when they first got married to now, he put more effort in the beginning of the relationship as opposed to since their 1 month anniversary, I suppose. And it goes back and forth between Brett and her friend and Ryan and Zach. So then I guess this is when it goes over to Zach, and Ryan's just saying he just doesn't know what's going on. It's just he's just not feeling it, and Zach tells him some advice that also needs to be told to Johnny. Well, it was told to Johnny, but Zach tells Ryan, "Listen, dog, you self sabotaging your own damn relationship at this point." And Ryan's just like, "Oh yeah, I don't know," and pretty much Zach is just trying to tell Ryan like, "Don't string Brett along. You need to talk to her about it." Then it pans over back to Brett and her friend. Brett saying no, the friend was saying something about, oh, maybe it's because of physical, he needs some physicalness and stuff. And Brett's like, no, it's not just the physical, it's something more than that. It's more than the physical. And the friend's just like, oh, like, then what can it be? And Brett's like, well, they need to talk and figure things out, but I guess they both have the same type of way of dealing with conflict, in which is they rather avoid the conflict instead of just facing it head on and just talking about it and doing what they need to do to move forward. And she says, but they're gonna need to talk eventually. We'll pan back over to Zach and Ryan. Zach telling Ryan, you need to talk to Brett, and then Ryan's just like, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. And I'm just like, Ryan, you gonna have to listen. You a grown ass man. You just gonna have to put on your big boy pants and just tell Brett, like, listen, bro, this is what it is, and I don't know if we could work through this or something. Just be honest with the girl. We move back on to Bao and Johnny. Bao lets us know we already done knew when he walked out that last night, but Bao done told us Johnny didn't sleep in the apartment last night. We already knew that about. You didn't have to tell us. We knew that. And here goes Johnny, his little thing on his bed and stuff, like the first time when he went back to his apartment, saying, him and Bao are not at a good place, and he has a family barbecue coming up, and he just doesn't know. So it goes to the flashback of Johnny telling Bao she excited for the family barbecue the next day, and Bao was just like, oh shoot, I forgot to remember the names. So I don't know if Johnny made that a requirement of Bao to remember all his family members' names, but you see her like practicing to remember all his family members' names. And we pan back over to Bao, and she's just like, she's gonna tough it out, for the family barbecue, and just get through it. And I'm just like, first off, who are you forced to learn these names? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna remember all your family's names. I probably don't even know all my family members' names. I have a big family from my mom and my dad's side, so I don't know all of them. I just know the main ones that I be seeing on a regular basis, and that's that. And as far as my significant other's family, I know the main people. I know their names. I don't remember all their names. No. Especially if I don't see you or talk to you. Why I need to remember your name for? No offense to my husband's family. I'm just saying the ones that I don't, like the one I met one time. I may remember your name, I may not. I have a good memory if I say so myself. So if I don't remember your name, you weren't that important enough for me to remember your name. IJS. So like I said, maybe Bao's just doing this so she can impress them. I'm gonna assume Bao who wants to remember their names. Because if it was Johnny who made her remember their names, fuck you, Johnny. I don't remember your family name for shit, man. Do you know my family members' names? Okay. So moving on to Brett and Ryan, Rachel, Jose, they go to some obstacle course thing for the Ninja Warrior show. And I guess Brett's the one that planned it. So Ryan could get back in his happy state, some whatever. And so they do some activities. Brett's the last one to, climb up the wall and whatnot. And in this aspect, I looked at everybody, even my husband said the same thing. I looked at everybody going up there, and their significant other egged them on. Their significant other supported them to be like, oh, you got this, babe, you got this, babe. But when Brett went up there, it showed one side of Brett going up the wall. Then on the other side of the screen, it showed Ryan just like staring at her with kind of like a blank face, or like, I don't know, an amicable face, amicable. I cannot talk. Amicable. Am I saying the word? I don't know. But he just like a blank stare, just like, okay. She whatever. Like he not saying nothing. I'm like, nigga, this is your wife. Support her. Like when your friends do this, do you not support them? Like, come on, bro, you got this, bro, you got this. Come on, get up there. He didn't say nothing. I'm just like, okay, that's a red flag for me. Like, you won't support me going up this damn wall. And she already didn't have that much confidence in herself. So come on, this was your instance to be like, come on, babe, you got this. Or you could have went up and like helped her up, like pushed her up. And I'm just like, nigga, like you really checked out. At this point, if you don't have a conversation, your actions will have the conversation for you. I just Ryan, at this point I'm just like, Ryan, you just need to tell Married at First Sight. Yeah, I'm not with this no more. I don't wanna be in this no more because at the end of the day, you're making yourself look whack. And kudos to Brett for sticking through it, but at the same time, Ryan, like, for what? That that was trash to me. But for Brett, you plan this activity, that's nice and everything. Someone made the mention, like, you could tell she's the school teacher or coach or something like that for kids, because she always do these like little fun activities that probably would be for kids. But this is your husband. In my opinion, I feel like Brett should start doing things. Well, the relationship seems like it's almost over anyway. But I'm just saying, if things weren't because of the fact that Ryan is unattracted to Brett, I feel like she should have, start doing more sexual activities. And I'm not talking about that little activity that Dr. Viviana set up for them with the pineapple chunks and moaning and feathers, but something to kind of help them get more entwined with each other sexually, something. Not just any of these activity. I mean, I guess Ryan liked it because he seemed like he was happy and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm like, but you guys are a married couple. You guys are trying to build together, and I mean, he already showed you he don't support you, Brett. But I don't know. I can't even give what I think anymore because I feel like their relationship at this point is hanging on a thread. So we just gonna have to see what happens next week. So we get to Michaela. She has dinner with her sister. Of course, her sister's asking how's everything going. Michaela explains that, they had a little riffraff in the relationship, but they're learning each other. Things are going good. The sister asks about babies already. Michaela's just like, what? But at the same time, Michaela, you did mention, do he want his son to be named, Zachary Jr. within 5 minutes of meeting this guy. So it's not really surprising your sister asked that. I'm just saying. But the sister says in her confessional she thinks Michaela's maturing and she likes to see that Michaela's actually taking this serious, blah, blah, blah. And Michaela admits to her sister that she loves Zach. And I'm just like, love or lust? I don't know, because it looks like you guys are only good when y'all having sex. Same thing with Bound Johnny, even though Johnny's just a little too crazy for me. So we move on to Mirla. She's on the phone with her friend, making fun of her friend because her friend's eyelashes ain't done. I'm just like, Mirla, your eyelashes don't look no much better because they're done. Like, your friend's eyelash look better than your eyelash, in my personal opinion. But you know how I feel about Mirla. And her friend asks, how's Mirla dealing with being married to a frugal person? And Mirla explains that Gil actually went apartment shopping for them. And the friend was like, oh, are you sure about that? You trust him with that? Mirla was like, yeah, because he knows what I like. I guess they found an apartment, and it seemed like it was a nice apartment. Gil likes it. Mirla likes it. So it looks like it's going to be all good. Then she sees Hype is at the front door of the bedroom. He's slobbering all over the floor. And I'm just like, that kind of look kind of nasty. But he's a dog. I look at her baby and I be like, they drooling all over the place. But it's a baby. And so Marilla's just like, oh my gosh, look at him slobbering and all that. Oh well, Marilla, that's a dog. You hype. You've been with him for all these. It's okay. It is what it is. And Marilla's saying that she likes that Gil is very patient with her, and the only thing is like Gil's social, but she's not social, and it's just like she doesn't like going to people's houses. She rather meet up with his friends at a bar as opposed to their house, even though one of Gil's friends, just got a new house, so he's just like, no, we're gonna go to his house, and the friend's just like, you can't just be acting like that because they're just gonna think you're a B. I don't know why she couldn't just say the word because the producers are just gonna bleep it out anyway. A bitch. Why is they just probably gonna think Milo's acting like a bitch, and Milo's just like, oh, she doesn't care. And the friend was like, no, but you don't want them to think that of you and stuff, and you want them to think you're trying. That's his friends and family and stuff. Blah 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 blah. Milo was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna do me, and I ain't changing my lifestyle for nobody. She done told us that. So okay, the draining part, the draining people of this episode. We get to Johnny and Bao. Johnny's at the family barbecue with his family. Bao's nowhere to be found. They asked about her. And we pan over to Bao telling us that Johnny told her last minute, I guess the day of, he don't want her going with him to the family barbecue. So she's at home. Johnny is venting to his family. He is telling them everything, guys, everything. And I'm just like, why are you doing this, Johnny? Because you're trying to make her seem like someone worse than she's not. From what I'm seeing on camera, but obviously he's dealing with her every day. But at the same time, I'm just like, you are going in on this girl. Not the way Jose went on Rachel, but he's just like, yeah, she doing this. She acts one way and another. Like he is just venting everything. And what I liked about his family was they weren't quick to just be like, oh yeah, fuck her then. She a bitch. She ain't, they was really asking him questions like, well, you got to understand from her side. It's not just you going through this, it's her going through this. And he just like shutting them down like, nah, no, fuck that. She probably home right now in the bed just texting because she don't do shit. And then we see Bao is meal prepping for them for the week. And I'm just like, Jose would be so proud if he saw this. Because, Jose be meal prepping on Sundays. That's his schedule. And I'm just like, the stuff she's meal prepping, I'm like, this stuff look good. Like this don't look like no basic chicken with broccoli. That's like a basic meal prep that people be doing. But this ain't no basic chicken and broccoli. Like she preparing pasta, sprinkling some cheese on top. And you see it's like for days worth. And she's like, yeah, I'm meal prepping. Like this is what I do. And I'm like, okay, now I'm confused because the producers made it seem like something else last week of her eating stale ass Caesar salads in a fridge for like 2 days. Producers, what we doing? What's the real tea here, producers? Because y'all do show us one thing one week, then it's something else the next week. Or is Val just doing this now because to prove that she's doing something even though she's not doing? I don't know. I don't understand. Listen, this was 2 hours. This episode was draining AF for me. I don't know what's going on here. I'm all over the place right now. My notes are probably all over the place. I'm probably sounding all over the place like Johnny. Johnny goes sits down with somebody. I don't know if it was his mom or I don't know, family member, somebody. And he just goes into he has high expectations. Bal's not meeting his high ass expectations. He needs it all and he's not going to settle for less. And I'm just like, nigga, who the are you? Who are you? To be expecting so much of somebody when you probably ain't all that. So all that you expect of a woman, are you all those things, Johnny? No. So why the hell would you expect Bao to be that for you? Like, what is all that you expect? Because it's not making no sense to me why you trying to act like Bao ain't doing shit for you. Well, she probably is. She's probably not doing everything you want her to do, but she's doing something. And all Bao is asking is for you to acknowledge the things that she is already trying to do. She already told you from the first day, the first night when you guys met each other again. She's not really an affectionate type of person. So what she's doing now is showing already more than what she said that she was about from the day one. So instead of trying to make her more like okay, he says he initiates and she don't. But at the same time, for someone who already said they're not someone that shows affection like that, I think she's doing better than she was from what I thought she was. I don't know. And for Bao, he wants more activities with her. I get that. But there's a way to say everything. It's not about what you. That's what I always say. It's not about what you say. It's the way you say it. Because Johnny's just acting like a child throwing a child tantrum and just like, oh, I don't need this. I deserve better. But it's just like, for what though? Like, first off, come to me correct. Don't be getting all attitude, screaming in the room like a little kid who was put in time out or stuff. No, you a grown ass man. You 35, nigga. You sure? Cause you sure ain't acting like it. I don't understand, man. I really don't. Something, like I said, he just acting too much like his father, and just he wants to be out of the relationship so bad so he could just go on his little dates and stuff, because you're looking for somebody that you haven't found thus far. You said you haven't even lived with someone in 7 years. So even if you found the best looking person or whatever the case is, Johnny, the perfect person, the perfect female in your head wouldn't want a nigga like you, Johnny. So Bao's probably the best you got at this point. You already dated 100 females, went on 100 first dates in fucking Houston. Bao's probably the last choice you got left, nigga. Unless you want to go to someone outside of Asian. He probably already dated someone outside of Asian, and they don't want you either, Johnny. So what do you have left? Listen, okay. Don't make me go off. So Jose and Rachel, I guess their plan done died, but I'm just like, what level of floor y'all on? Like, I ain't no plant expert, but I'm just like, as windy as it be looking on y'all balconies and stuff, and do you guys water the plants? Like, y'all, it didn't die just to die. Like, y'all didn't take care of it, and y'all didn't take the proper precautions and stuff to keep the plant alive. But Rachel already probably done said. I think she did say it. Like, her plants always die, so I don't know why Jose thought it was a good idea to grow some plant. Whatever. We move on to Ryan. He visits his sister. Ryan talking about he's so conflicted and confused about what he's gonna do with Brett. So he brings up that Brett is messy and lazy. We get the producer. Like I said, the producers are messy AF. We get the producers, and it's showing Brett, not Brett, but like the guest bedroom, like the second bedroom in the apartment, messy AF. We see the closet, messy AF, and I'm just like, oh, we see the bathroom, messy AF. Things all over the place, on the floor, on the counters, on the sink, and everything. I'm just like, is this for real? Like, Brett, are you really like this, bro? He's giving me a little haywire. I'm gonna give Brett a little pass. Like, I don't know the time span of these videos and stuff of her merchandise and belongings all over the place. If it's in the past few days, I'm only gonna give Brett I'm gonna give Brett a little breather. What's the word? I always be forgetting words. Some leeway, because Baxter done died. That's the only reason I'm giving her some leeway. But if she's like this, like since he said from the wedding night, yeah, for me, a person that's like kind of a clean freak in a little bit, it will drive me a little cray. But I'm just gonna give her some leeway because Baxter done died, so she probably kind of distraught right now. But I don't know. Then he got the nerve to talk about her leaving clothes in a washing machine, and I'm just like, listen, that's not even a bread thing. I know a lot of people who do that. Now, for me in my household, with me and my husband, we wash the clothes. You know what I'm saying? We put it in the dryer so it dries. It may stay in there a few days. I can be honest, it may stay in there for a few days. At least it's ready to go. So for that, I'm just like, yeah, Ryan, that's really not. I mean, I guess if it's in a washer, that's something different. At least ours is clean and dried. But if it is in the dryer, I mean the washer, is just staying wet. It's clean, but it's staying wet. And wet for a few days, it's not going to smell clean, even though it is clean. So I could understand that, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of a common thing. just not my household. But So yeah, he just making all these things and stuff about bread, she messy and all that stuff. So then, a great question his sister asked. If this was a Victoria's Secret model who left dishes in a sink, how would he feel? How would he react? And his response is, oh, I probably do the dishes with a smile. Hmm. And therein lies the issue, Ryan. You just don't think she's pretty. You're not attracted to her. I was trying to root for you, Ryan. I was trying to give all the other excuses, but people been saying this from like episodes ago, like you just not into her, you're not attracted to her. And that's the case. I thought it was because of the fact that she didn't give you no sex, no punani. But I feel like it's more than that. You just, I mean, because in the beginning, you did mention her red hair a lot of the times. And I just felt like that was cold for just like, oh, she ugly and stuff. And she's bigger than I'm used to. And it's just like, nigga, she's not even that big. But I guess because she's not pencil stick thin, with a size 8 cut bra. And I'm just like, boobs are beautiful. Okay, boobs are, she got some nice voluptuous breasts. You know, okay, but everybody got their likings and whatnot. Okay, fine. But he's just like he doesn't know how to talk to Brett. He's uncomfortable to talk to her. And the sister in the confession, she was like, listen, she was just like, she thought her brother was gonna be ready, but clearly he hasn't transitioned into the married life at all. And she tells him he needs to just talk to her. What Zach said, what America does said, and him not talking to her is just doing more damage than good. And I don't understand why Ryan just can't be like, listen, look, I'm not attracted to you or something, because Brett already knows that at this point, but she just wants it to hear it from you and you not saying it, nigga. What the hell? Move on to Zach and Michaela. They hang up their vows all crooked and stuff because I guess they don't have the proper things to hang it up. And I'm just like, is there not a tutorial on YouTube you could watch? I don't know. But they do scrapbooking and they write poems for each other with each other's names and stuff. And Zach says he can see her forever with her, something to that aspect. So that gets Michaela all happy and stuff. And she's like, hey, okay, cute for now. We'll see what happens later on, because we're going to see her blow up again. We get to Johnny and Val. Like I said, I sigh whenever, I sigh whenever we get to these two. He comes home. So him and Val could Zoom Pastor Cal. And Pastor Cal asks Johnny what's making him so sad. Johnny just feels like he's married to the wrong person. He doesn't like Bao. And the reason why he didn't invite her to, or why he disinvited her to the family barbecue was because he didn't want Bao getting close to his family and his family getting close to Bao, because he doesn't want them getting attached. Because he doesn't like Bao. So why would he want her to be attached to his family? And he calls Bao fake and says she tells people one thing and does another thing. And, he mentions about the whole dinner thing. She's telling people she's making gourmet meals and all that stuff, but she's not. And then Bao just like coming with the receipts. I do this, I made this, I meal prep, I do. And then Pastor Cal's like, okay, well, it seems like Bao's really doing stuff. Like, is that true, Johnny? Can you answer that? And Johnny deflects it. He doesn't say nothing. And Pastor Cal's just like, I can tell, out of all my years of, being a marriage counselor and all that stuff, I can tell when someone's attention is divided and it seems like your attention is somewhere else and you're self-sabotaging your relationship in order probably to go to that person that your attention is divided between. And that's when Bao was like, just like, I never thought about that could be an issue before. Is there somebody else? And Johnny deflects the question. He doesn't even answer. He deflects it and says he wishes he was matched with literally anyone else. And I'm just like, ouch, nigga. Are you sure? Because with your high ass expectations, you couldn't be matched with no fucking body at this point. So the fact you're saying you wish you was literally matched with anybody else, no, you don't. You want to be matched with Michaela's crazy ass? Because she will match your energy real quick. Will I match your energy? Probably. Because you get on my damn nerves, Johnny. You really are. And it goes to a dramatic commercial break Comes back from a commercial break, and the question is asked again: is there someone else? Hence the title of this whole damn episode. And Johnny just keeps deflecting the question, and he said he keeps comparing Bao to the perfect person in his head. And then Pastor Cal's just like, well, of course, you're not gonna be like Bao if you're comparing her to a perfect ideal woman in your head. You're never gonna find that ideal woman. You need to give that woman a funeral because that ain't it. Bao's here, she's trying, she's doing all these things. Like he's defending Bao and going into the examples of what she's been doing for him, and she's still sticking through it. She's a strong woman because by now another female probably would have done left his ass. Like, listen, if you walked on me twice, nigga, this is not the first time. Twice? This is the second time you done left to go sleep in your own house when there's another bedroom here. I wouldn't be here. I'll be like, yeah, can I get a divorce papers? I'll still be on camera for the contract reasonings and stuff. But you're gonna be seeing me live my best life. I'm going to brunch with my friends at City Cellar. But he goes into defending Bao. I guess Bao appreciates it, and because Johnny ain't appreciating her. So the fact that Pastor Cal she's very appreciative, and she starts crying, and Pastor Cal asks Bao, is she okay? She says yeah, but he's just like, no, you're not. Why are you crying? And she's just like, I just appreciate everything you said. And what he said, because she's like, she appreciates that he was saying nice things about her. So I guess Johnny turns to Bao and says, he feels discouraged, but he's gonna try and commit to the relationship. Yeah, we heard it all before, Johnny. I'll believe it when I see it, because at this point you go my damn MFing nerves right now. Moving on to Jose and Rachel. They go to a winery. Listen, I feel like Rachel already pre-gamed before the winery, and it didn't look like they ate while they was at the winery, so they just drinking probably on empty stomachs at the winery. So Rachel seemed a little bit loose for this scene to me, but Rachel, she getting a little bit more bass in her voice. She's talking about things are going to change for her after the whole thing, the whole 2 months, and not for him, because she's the one that's going to have to move in with him. Her life's going to have to like rearrange around him, whereas his life doesn't really have to rearrange around hers. And she's a teacher, so she's going to have the summer off. So this is the first time she's going to be in a relationship for the summer. And summer Rachel is coming. She's warning him. She explains, since he's going to be at work, she's going to be home. She gonna probably be in a mood. Sometimes, she gonna be in a mood. He just gonna have to deal with it. She likes to go out in the summer. Excuse me. What else she does? She just making all these things. This summer, Rachel, she gonna be on her hot girl summer shit, and he just gonna have to deal with it. And Jose's concerned. He's just like, okay, great, yeah, that's great to know. Thanks, like sarcastically, and I'm just like, Rachel. You married now, so I don't want to listen. You ain't gonna come to me talking about, I'm gonna be on my Rachel, summer Rachel's coming. I'm gonna be on my hot girl summer shit. I'm gonna be off. You're gonna be at work, so I'm just gonna do me, and I'm not gonna want to be staying at the house doing nothing. And then I'm gonna be in an attitude, and then when you come home, you probably just gonna say something I don't like, and then it's just gonna be on about Rachel. Excuse you. I know you still upset because Jose done cussed you out the other day, but you chose to stick beside him, and you now telling him it's just gonna be what it is in the summer. No, why don't you grow the fuck up and just realize you in a relationship now? So all this stuff talking about attitudes and stuff, so you be having attitude. So why don't you try to work on your attitude? Because this nigga gonna be working still, so he don't want to come home and deal with your angsty attitude because you been home all day. Find a hobby in the summer. Do a summer job. I don't know. Do something. Like, no. Why? Because you stay in the home. Who told you to stay in the house all day, Rachel? Matter of fact, why don't you go out and hang out with your friends, so then by the evening time you could be at home for your husband? Like I said, I understand people don't like Jose, but she chose to stick beside him. So at the same time, Rachel, you gonna have to what like I said, granted, I feel like she was a little bit intoxicated, so she probably just yapping at the mouth at this point. But intoxicated or not, who you talking to? Listen, I was so annoyed this episode, so everybody's getting my wrath. Not that I'm giving that much of a wrath, but I'm just like, what is these people talking about? Are you serious right now? Other people probably might feel different, but to me, I'm just like, Rachel, like, calm all that ish down. Because if it was a man that was saying, listen, I'm gonna be on my hot boy summer shit, I'm gonna be doing this and that, we all know we would feel some type of way. So listen, the females can get it too. The females can get it too. Gil has lunch with his friend Christian, as my husband says, Kevin Gates lookalike. So Gil brings up that Mirla's bougie and a girly girl, and he calls her princess. You know, we already know all that stuff. And he just doesn't like the fact that she has an attitude and a tantrum when she doesn't get things that are her way. And it pulls him back because she said she won't change her lifestyle for anyone. And I'm just like, yo, why are we still talking about this? She said this since like day one, nigga. Like the beginning of the damn relationship. Why is this still surprising? You chose to stick beside her. Listen, all y'all people in this cast, y'all choosing to stick beside these people, even though they say they're not gonna do this or do that, or they showing you who they truly are from jump. So why are we still talking about this as an issue when you still chose to stick beside him? And I don't think there's no conversation you can have with Mirla at this point to ask her to change. She said she's not gonna change for nobody. So if it bothers you that she's not gonna change for you, you shouldn't be with her. You need someone on your caliber then, Gil. Someone who's not so bougie. I know y'all trying to stick this out for the Married at First Sight, but this is why, for the most part, Married at First Sight don't be working, because they be choosing the wrong people for the wrong people. But the friend, pretty much asks, have you guys consummated the marriage? Have y'all fucked yet? Listen, I would be like, have y'all fucked yet? He said no. But she gives him all the affection, and come to find out, she walking the dog. She walking hype now. We see the flashbacks of her walking hype, and you see her giving hype some of her food and stuff. I'm like, okay, Marla, listen, I still don't like you. I don't, because she just too much for me. She be doing the most. To be honest, I really don't like a lot of the people on this cast. But, I can give people kudos where they need the kudos. Marla, I'm shocked and proud of you for, walking hype. I don't know. Listen, she be saying she don't do this or that, but I don't know. I feel like behind closed doors, Gil be putting his foot down, and she be like, oh, yes, I'm gonna do it for you because you put your foot down. I like the fact you put your foot down. It's like kind of sexy to me. I feel like that's how Miller thinks. She's not gonna admit it to Gil, because then Gil just gonna feel like he could just do whatever and say whatever, and it's gonna go his way. But I feel like low key Miller likes that shit. She probably likes a man that's probably gonna stand up to her shenanigans. But that was cute. Move on to Ryan and Brett. I guess his dog done ate some of Brett's condolences flowers. His face all yellow and stuff. So he's a little bit upset. And I guess we find out he's been sleeping on the couch. I'm like, nigga, there's a whole second bedroom. Like, why you sleep on the couch? He said he sleep on the couch to make it easier for Brett than the other room. But to me, that's not making sense. Even Brett looked at him like, what are you talking about? Ryan, sleep in the other bedroom. Like, stop. Like, the bags under his eyes don't return and shit. I'm just like, come on, Ryan. Like, what are we doing? And he's struggling. He says he's struggling, and says it's not Brett's fault. And Brett's just rolling her eyes. I'm just like, yeah, it's giving the vibes of like, it's not you, it's me. And I'm just like, Ryan, what the fuck is it? He's sugarcoating everything, and even Brett sees that he's sugarcoating everything, and he's not getting to the point of what the issue is. What is wrong with people not able to communicate what the issue is? Listen, we almost done here, because I'm about to just go to sleep after this, because I can't do this. We never get to what the real issue is. America knows what the issue is, but we just want Ryan to say it to Brett so they could just figure out if they're gonna move forward, if this is just gonna be it. This is one of those moments where I like Brett from season 11. Was it season 11 or season 11? Remember Brett and Olivia, when Brett was just like, yeah, I'm done. Even when Pastor Cal tried to talk to him, he's just like, yeah, no, I'm done. There's nothing to resolve. I'm done. Can we get that from you, Ryan? Season 13? Because You not even saying what the issue is, even though we already see what the issue is. Your sister done pinpointed that out when you sat with her. You're not attracted to Brett, dog. Like, can we just say you're not attracted to Brett? Find any nicest way to say it, but just let Brett know so she could just move on. Cause she even said, if you're not, if you don't want this to work, just let me know. And then we end off with this train wreck of a relationship, Johnny and Bao. Okay, they're getting ready for bed, and they talk in bed, of course, because if they're not having sex, they talking about some serious stuff. Which, granted, yes, they should, but their conversations be so draining to me at this point because this is episode 12, 2 hours, with the exception of the first episode, which was 3 hours. I'm tired of these talks. You're reminding me of my dad and his little meetings that he always be wanting to have. This is bringing me some PTSD, traumatic situations for me. So they talking bad. Johnny regrets talking bad about Bao when they were sitting with Pastor Cal, but it wasn't really like an apology. He just said he regrets talking bad about her. Okay, cool. And Bao just doesn't understand why Johnny's acting like this. I guess he tries to explain why, and he just wants to do things more with Bao, wants more activities, but Bao's not giving that to him. He's the one initiating it, but Bao's not initiating it. So I guess to compromise, Bao says she can, she'll get up with him in the morning and have coffee and stuff. And I guess that immediately puts like a little smirk and smile on Johnny's face. And I'm like, that's all it took, Johnny? Like, that's it? That's all she had to say? She was going to do something? Granted, like I said, granted, yes, I get, like, okay, he wants her to initiate more, but he just be coming off so upset and defensive, and I'm just like, nigga, like, you doing a little too much right now for all this. And I guess it looks like things are getting a little resolved and whatnot. Bao burps, and they like, ooh, that thing stank. And it seems like they laugh about it and go to bed, and I'm just like, so y'all good again? And y'all probably gonna fuck that night and then be lovey-dovey the episode 13? Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what to say about these couples, because next week it don't even I'm confused. They're gonna be sitting down with the experts talking. We're gonna find out Gil's not happy with Mirla. Ryan still not knowing what he gonna do. Bao and Johnny, I don't even remember. Jose and Rachel, Dr. P. As a reviewer that I watched, she said Dr. P, but Dr. Pepper, she gonna tell Jose about himself. Nigga, you controlling. Zach gonna be crying his eyes out again. I'm like, damn, nigga, cry lots. This is the end of this episode. If y'all still watching, 53 minutes in at this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're gonna have to see what the mess that's gonna happen on next week. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. This is the end, guys. This is really ridiculous. Please let me know what y'all think about this episode. But for me, it was draining. Let me tell you, draining AF. Thank you once again for watching, guys. Bye.